Iron Man 1, the first movie, was actually the very start of the MCU and what propelled the comic book movies into the mainstream. And he's since become such a loved and cherished character, whether you're a comic fan, whether you're a fan of the MCU. But I want to start a new video series where I actually try and find the definitive figure you can have of a character. It doesn't matter which brand it is, but it has to be 112 or 110 scale. So my requirements are it has to have the best articulation any brand can offer. It has to have good accessories for the price point, and it has to have the best overall look, whether that's paint quality, armor. So recently I reviewed this model kit that I made. So this review is going to be number one of this series. And spoiler alert, if you did not watch that video, he is not the best, most definitive Iron Man figure you can have in your collection. Which brings us to this video's figure, which is the one I'm holding right now. This guy right here is the classic retro Marvel Legends by Hasbro. Now, this figure is a $29.99 MSRP, as most Marvel Legends are. And it comes with 4 blast accessories. However, these aren't that great. As you can see, it's curved. So it doesn't really give the illusion that it's a repulsor blast, you know? And honestly, it just freaking looks like an icicle. The next thing that this action figure comes with is actually a gun. Like, I'm not too well versed in the Iron Man classic comic books. It's kind of like a weird little turret-like gun. And you can also plug 2 of these smoke effects in, but you can also plug these in his arms and his feet, as if, you know, his repulsors are about to go off, or they went off like he fired a shot. So that's pretty cool. So it would look like this, right? Cool. The next thing this figure comes with are 2 roller skates. Again, it must be something in the 60s, 70s comics that I am not aware of. As I said, I'm more of a X-Men fan than Marvel altogether. But hey, if you ever wake up one day and you're like, yeah, I really need my Iron Man figures to have roller skates, well, this is probably for you. But these things do not move. They don't have actual wheels. It just plugs into the bottom of his foot, like he's wearing some type of heel. This one on the left foot is kind of a little warped, so it's hard to put in. Same as this one as well. You can see there's a gap there. Not my cup of tea. So he actually does come with 2 full set of hands, and then 1 single hand to hold the gun. 2 fists, and then these 2 repulsor blasting hands, which do have holes to put the repulsor blasts in. So that's all he has for accessories: the gun, the smoke effects, the 4 repulsor blasts, and the 2.5 set of hands. Now, as far as Marvel Legends go, everyone knows that collects Marvel Legends that this is pretty much a steal. Because most of the time with Marvel Legends, you are not getting that big array of accessories for the $29.99 price point. So on that front, I think he does check that box. Now, as far as looks go, honestly, this design I find freaking awesome. The heart-shaped mask, the contrast, and the really bright colors of the red and the yellow make it seem like a retro Iron Man. And the blast effects, if they had that little like initial blast or where it plugs into the hands, it would look so much better. The arc reactor is cool too. It's really well painted. It looks pretty nice. And I like all the little details on the suit itself. This is what I find jarring about the design choice here, because look at all the muscle definition, but he's supposed to be wearing a metal armor. But as far as retro looks go, they definitely nailed this 100%. But for me, it just does not nail that Iron Man look that I'm looking for. Let's look at this guy's articulation. Now, it's a Marvel Legend, so it's pretty standard, you know. He has okay movement, I guess, with the legs. You can do a split with him, rotate the leg in the right way, but it doesn't kick up very far. And this kind of blocks him. Little detail on his suit, as you can see, kind of blocks the rotation. That's the problem with Iron Man figures, is that some of them are so bulky that it's really hard for him to move. He does not have a diaphragm cut, but he does have the, ab crunch here. It doesn't go very far forward, however. Let's say I put his legs normally, like that is as far as he's bending, right? But he can go back really far for some reason. The backwards is pretty good. Side as well, and he can not kick up super far. He's really easy to move though, He has a bit of an ankle rocker, I think these are called. Can go upward, backwards, or downward, sorry. He has, the old swivel, the little ball joint. And you wouldn't be able to make him cross his arms. So yeah, not a lot of good arm movement, but is still better than most Iron Man, let's be honest. And the wrists, these ones, they do not move back and forth. They don't have rocker, but the fists, the other ones do. These ones are specifically for blasting, but here is my biggest gripe with these. When you're blasting, the blast isn't straight up, it is straight forward. Really annoying. He looks like he's just aiming at the ground, which is stupid. Which obviously will not matter if you want to make him look like he's flying, because it looks cool. However, if you want to do blasting poses, I don't think it really holds up to out of an Iron Man figure, especially not the best one you can get on the market. So unfortunately, this retro card Iron Man is not going to check that particular box for me, though I think it is a great figure. You have so much accessories for the price. It looks fantastic. It moves pretty well for an Iron Man figure. It's missing a few things you would want out of the best and most definitive Iron Man, right? Which is one, a Tony Stark head sculpt, of course, a more realistic looking Iron Man armor, not one that looks like a spandex suit, right? Accessories that aren't that cool, you know, like roller skates. I don't think this is one of the most definitive Iron Man you can have, and I'm pretty sure there's a retro carded Iron Man figure for the same price point. It does have a Tony Stark unmasked head. So, where the Fonjoy Iron Man lacked in articulation, he definitely made up for. However, you can see how good this figure looks compared to this one. The proportions, especially the armor, it looks really good. These two, unfortunately, will not make the cut. But let me know which Iron Man figure you think is one of the best ones. So with that said, I hope you guys have a wonderful day. And remember, with great poseability comes great responsibility.